So if you clicked on this video, you think about what I was thinking about doing for the longest time, but I was procrastinating on because my state had constitutional carry. But then you start looking at other benefits of a license to carry, but your state still had constitutional carry. Come on, let me talk to you right quick. All right, first thing first, let's talk about what's the difference between constitutional carry and license carry. It's kind of obvious, but a lot of people don't know. So constitutional carry, basically constitutional carry allows people who are law-abiding citizens, let me just say it like that, allow people who are allowed to carry firearms in public without a license. But at the same time, you do have to fit certain requirements. Now, some requirements is not be a convicted felon, not have certain type of misdemeanors, not have certain type of DUIs do fall under misdemeanors. So they don't be addicted to no type of drugs or alcoholic. And basically, most importantly, you have to be 21. Now with the license to carry, you kind of have to do some of the same things, but it just shows that you went through the physical training as far as the shooting portion, the written test, and basically fingerprinting, the in-depth background check by the FBI that take almost 2, 3, maybe 4 months. I don't know. I just did my stuff in November, and I won't get my license to carry till January. So it could take up to 60 days before you get your license to carry. Just know that. But that's kind of the difference. Now let's explain the pros and cons between a constitutional carry. All right, so we're gonna start off with a pro, then we're gonna go con, then we're gonna go pro, then we're gonna go con, if we can. So one thing that I would say a pro with constitutional carry, basically if you're fit the requirements, you're good. And like I stated earlier, the requirements in some states are different, but if you like staying home in your hometown, basically be above 21, not a criminal, no type of background, and basically you're not addicted to no alcohol or drugs, basically you good. Don't get me wrong, the police still can pull up on you and ask you for your license, driver's license, just to verify that you're not a criminal, because a lot of people tend to think that only criminals have guns, which they're wrong. There's one misconception that we have, which I have a video dropping on that soon. So that's one pro and kind of one con. So with constitutional carry, basically, I would say you don't get as much legal leadway when it comes to being stopped by the police or anything in that nature. Trust me, I know. Because if I would have had my license to carry the night that I went to jail, realistically, I would have never went to jail, just because it shows that I'm a law-abiding citizen. Like I said, a license to carry shows that you're a law-abiding citizen. Constitutional carry just shows that you're a person that like carrying guns, if you get what I'm saying. So constitutional carry, one thing that I like to add on with, I just had it in my head. I'm gonna come back to y'all when I find it. All right, so look, I found it. So basically with constitutional, tongue-tied, with constitutional carry, it's only, fuck, I'm not even gonna edit this because y'all gonna see my mess ups because I'm not perfect. Realistically, I'm not. So with constitutional carry, it only allows you to carry in certain situations, unlike license to carry. So don't get me wrong, some people may be like, oh, well, it says this. No, some of them are, if you ever read the 4601, 4602 Texas Penal Code, some of them clearly state unlicensed holders at the very bottom. You could be charged with 10 years at the $250,000 fine for carrying in this area. Hence to the reason why I wanted somebody sending me a notification on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way, if y'all want to see all the content first, as far as the FRTs that I have come in. This is a side note, like me going fishing and things of that nature. They sent another one. But realistically, yes, unlicensed, I'm not unlicensed. Constitutional carry don't protect you in every situation, as far as with a license to carry. Basically, if you have a license to carry and you're in a place where you're not supposed to carry at all, the police can only ask you to leave first. And if you don't leave, that's when you get yourself in a sticky situation. But with constitutional carry, if you say, oh, I don't have a license, you in a sticky situation from the beginning. From once you say I don't have a, you're going to jail, and basically that's considered unlawful carry. But with a permit, that's something you typically don't have to worry about because it shows that you was unaware. You probably didn't see the signage. Even if you didn't see the signage with constitutional carry, you still can be charged with a crime for walking in the wrong area. But if you didn't see the signs with a license carrier, you make that clear that you didn't see the sign, boom, you kind of just got yourself out of trouble for having that license. Don't get me wrong, with the license, like I said, I haven't heard of a person getting a speeding ticket ever since they got their license to carry. And I know a lot of people around me that don't have one, that drive Hellcats, Z06s, and things of that nature. That's why I say I want to go on the car side. Let me go put some grease in my head. All right, so now that I got some grease in my head, let's talk about the thing that I value the most, timing. So I don't know why I put on the little pop-up thing, only pros and cons for constitutional carry, but this comes with pros and cons for basically me trying to swindle you for not liking the other one. So basically, let's talk about time. A lot of people don't understand what a license to carry, basically when it comes to you purchasing 1 firearm, 2 firearms, 3, maybe 10, 12 at one time, probably 5-10 minutes at the most, you in and out the gun store with your license to carry. But when it comes to constitutional carry, of course, the person who's doing the paperwork, putting in the serial numbers, they got to do their job. But at the same time, let's say you had a mishap and basically you got something out. You even have the same name as somebody else. Far as you're a junior and the other person that's a senior basically is a criminal, and your background check just take forever. Some people don't understand. If you get your license to carry, realistically, you don't have to go through that. You don't have to go through the waiting process. You don't have to go through, well, some parts you still gonna have to wait on, but you don't have to wait for 10, 15, 35, 45, maybe 2 hours, or maybe 3 days, 7 days, and things of that nature. Because realistically, if you gotta wait 3 days for your background check to come back, they'll wait till 7 days and have you fill out the paper asking you, have you committed any crimes in the last 7 days, which is typically should be no. But with a license to carry, you don't have to worry about any of that. So me personally, I do feel like in some situations it is better to get your license to carry. You cherish your time more. You don't have to worry about sitting in one spot for 30, 45 minutes unless that's something you like doing. Time is valuable. That's something you can't get back. That's something that you just wasted sitting there. When I say you could carry in most places, when I say most places, when it comes to the signage in Texas, I've noticed that they're changing it to the point where it used to be, well, you could conceal carry if you don't have a permit, but you can't open carry if you don't have a permit. That's basically what the 4602 and 4601 used to state. But at the same time, it's just more or less that they're changed it to you can't even conceal carry without a permit on this premises, or you're subject to a fine and jail time. So that's one thing that made me actually get my license to carry, because one, I don't know why, I think I just need to get bigger clothes, because every time I go somewhere, pull my pants up, it's like my gun, all my clothes are fitted. So if I go somewhere and my gun, my EDC just happen to do this, I stretch up, it end up showing. So it's either I need to get a smaller firearm or some bigger clothes. I'm gonna lean towards the bigger clothes as far as jackets and overwear, because it's not gonna hurt nobody. But when I go fishing, I don't really care, because the only thing I'm gonna be shooting is a mermaid. But realistically, that's kind of gonna be it for this video. Me personally, I would advise y'all to get y'all license to carry. Don't look over it any further. It's gonna cost you about $150, but it's gonna be worth the $150. When I say realistically, you could be in and out the gun store in minutes. You don't have to wait for a background check. And especially if you love going to gun shows, and some people know gun shows are first come, first serve. You go see a gun you want, fill out the paperwork, show your license, and you out the door, or you at another table. So yeah, if you're on the market for your license to carry and you think about, if you've been thinking about doing it, just go ahead and do it. Just because realistically, all the stuff that I explained for as the license to carry is all pros. All the stuff that I explained for the cons with the constitutional carry, it's all not bad, but you also got to just look at the things like constitutional carry. The police don't know if you're a criminal or not. They'll look at it and be like, okay, let me have your driver's license or ID, so they still go on your name. License to carry, if you out in public and something happened to the point where your firearm just show, the mag just poke out a little bit, you got a tight fitted shirt, and the police happen to ask you, oh, can I see your ID? Instead of giving them an ID, giving them a license to carry, and y'all both just gone up